So the KC Cup has ended not too long ago, and that means a ban list will be coming really soon. So I asked you guys for what you think will be in the upcoming ban list, and my personal opinions is that some of the cards I want to be in the ban list include Void Feast limit to 1, so you can't just activate multiple, and also it reduces the consistency of drawing Void Feast. Also want cards like Purple Nightfall to 3. Yeah, I personally think salads are fine. I think both Synchrons and Resonators are pretty new, so I don't want them to be nerfed that quickly. I'm fine with them being in the game for a bit longer. I think the Elemental Hero skill needs a nerf because searching Super Poly using a skill is just a bit unfair because you can't actually respond to a skill activation. And also the skill lets you activate during the turn you normal summon Neos instead of like having Neos face up on the field. So even if you destroy Neos or flip it face down, you can still use the skill, which I think is a bit unfair. I would like it to only be activatable if you have it face up on field. And also Phantom Knights. Yeah, Phantom Knights I want a limit 3 and limit 2 in the deck. So maybe back to the old changes where Silent Boots is at 3, Ragged Gloves is at 2. Maybe that will fix the deck. But honestly, if they just limit any card to 3 and any card to 2 within the deck, that will be pretty fine for me. Dark Magician is a really popular deck, but I think it is popular, but it's not very good compared to the other meta decks. So I think Dark Magicians is fine. So yeah, that is my own opinions on what I want to see in the ban list. Let's have a look at the comments. Definitely Mech Knight, PK, and Saratogas. I'm not sure how they will handle skills, being they just buff hero skill pretty recently. PK skill needs a once per turn and transfer dual restriction, in my opinion. Code Talker skill may get a turn 3 nerf as well. Yeah, I think Code Talker Alive could be nerfed and to be only used during third turn and onward, so you can't just make Firewall and then have the Code Talker trap during turn 1. So that is one less disruption for Salad Code Talkers. I think that's a pretty good nerf. A bounce back on reverse turn for free is a tap busted. I can see a complete meta shift in the works. Actually, an Unlimiting. Cybernetic Overflow and Cyberload Fusion. That's actually true. Yeah, those two cards have made it a bounce for way too long. The deck isn't even good, so it's fine for them to be unlimited. I mean, maybe yeah, as long as the Cyber Style skill, the one that gives you free Cyber Dragons, as long as that skill stays nerfed, I think the deck will be fine. I believe most anime decks should get the Cubic skill treatment because it is ridiculous that they can run a 5-card engine. That's actually a pretty good suggestion because Cubic Seeds, in particular, restricts you to only playing 6 non-cubic cards in your entire deck. You can also like make these kind of restrictions to a lot of other skills to force them to maybe play a set amount of non-engine cards, not to like staples. Thought Reddit has some bad takes. Mech Synchrons, possibly IDP. IDP, I think, is I don't think they will do anything to IDP. First of all, it is a ultra rare, so they won't limit the card too hard. And also, second is it is from a selection box, and they need to make money. So I bet the thing they will do is just limit more cards to free before it actually comes out. Mech Knights need a hit and not just Purple Nightfall. As much as I love the Mech cards, they're too splashable. The Synchron deck needs an emergency hit. The deck can draw 3 to 5 cards in its starting turn, bash up to 3 cards and 3 pop on your turn, playing any second the entire game. It's supposed to play Kite Roid, all in one build, it's still OGK. Let's see Ice Dragon's Prison being hit in some form of fashion, but it will probably be left alone because it is a selection box card. I personally have nothing against IDP as of right now, but I can see why people hate it. Yeah, that's true. I think that Konami won't hit IDP. I think limiting Purple Nightfall to 3 is probably enough for Mech Knights. for me personally. I think like some people are saying maybe secrets should be banned, or limit some other Mech Knight card to one so they can't play secrets. But for me, I think secrets is fine. It is already limited to one, and also it dies to any kind of factory removal. You can just remove the Mech Knight monsters from the field, so they can't negate you. Or I could even see an argument to limiting Eclipse to one. So after they activate a trap, they can't just move the monster to another zone and negate another monster effect. So maybe Indigo Eclipse to one is also a thing that Konami could do. And also Synchrons is quite good right now, but I think they still don't need a hit that early, because I think the skill eventually needs a rework, because the Synchron skill is just a bit too good. It's a bit too generic. Sending your entire field and making two big Synchron monsters is a bit too good when paired with cards like Mind Control, where you just take your opponent's monsters, send it, and then make your big Synchron monsters yourself. But the deck still dies to one interruption. So the deck is very powerful going first. Of course, you can of course make Croc and draw 3 cards and have a bunch of back row. But first of all, it dies to Crow. DD Crow can't stop at turn 1, and it loses them the entire game. Second is that they are kind of bad going second. They lose to 1 interruption, maybe 2 if they open with Link Slayer. But yeah. And also, popping their back row also hurts them a lot, because they often rely on the free synchro chase that they get from the skill to actually do their combo. So again, popping them with let's say an MST or Cosmic does stop their combo from working. So yeah, I could see why some people don't like the deck, but I personally think it's fine for now. With the amount of success Silent Talker is getting KZia, Lolly to get more hits, probably micro credit free so that it can't be used alongside Salaman Great Circle. Yep, that's a pretty good limit. But I think the biggest problem of Silent Talkers is the skill and not like the Code Talker and Salad cards. But micro credit free is a pretty good hit. I think Book of Moon is fine. Especially because Link monsters are out and Book of Moon isn't really good at dealing against Link monsters. For example, if your opponent has a Firewall Dragon, you can't really stop it with Book of Moon. And also, they're just better staples. Book of Moon is definitely a strong card, but I don't think it should be limited to free. Just give me back free Moray of Greed. Yes, give us back Moray of Greed. I would like to see it back to free. I mean, the Mermaid Atlantean decks weren't very good when it got hit anyway. I don't really know why it got hit. So, yeah, it could be get free and it will be fine. Yeah, I think releasing Rod and Nav is probably fine for the deck. I mean, they already have Eternal Soul, which is basically Nav, but also makes your monsters immune to effects. And also the new Magician skill doesn't even use Rod or Navigation. And people are playing that version over traditional Dark Magician builds, so it's fine. I think Infernity Launcher should stay at 1. As much as I love Infernities, I think the deck is just so unfun to play against. I think launchers should stay at 1. So all in all, I think most people agree is that Mech Knight should probably be completely destroyed by the banlist, which I agree. The deck is just around for way too long. Will Mech Knights only get a small hit, or will the deck be completely destroyed? We'll see.